welcome to goonlinetrainings.com. So, whenever you join the company, it is not guaranteed that you are going to be getting the data from the Excel sheets or the flat files. So, much more times, many times you have to get the data from SQL Server or Oracle or from MySQL. So, you should be good in SQL concepts, right? So, queries we have to know. Writing at least, simple store procedures you should know. Writing simple, joins you should know. So, all these are pretty much important. So to understand and to work with, SQL Server object, as especially SQL Server objects. So SQL Server has a lot many things, right? So we have queries, we can write ranking functions, we can write temporary tables, we can use user-defined functions, we can have store procedures, we can have a lot of things we can have as part of SQL Server, right? If you wanted to retrieve the data from the SQL Server or Oracle, from anything, SQL Server or Oracle, or maybe from MySQL. So any RDBMS or Database 2000 DB2 from IBM company. So you have to know how to write a queries and fetch the data, right? If you wanted to showcase the data, you should know how to fetch the data. If you wanted to fetch the data, queries are the important topic. After that, we have a topic called views. Clear? If you wanted to get the data from a SQL Server, Oracle, or MySQL DB2, you can also write a views, or one more important concept we have called indexed views. Okay, indexed views. Indexed views that you have to use it. And it is also called as a materialized views. Okay. Indexed views are called as materialized views. So you should know queries very well. And in the queries, you have to know subquery, derivative table, and we have joins, group by clause, aggregation, string functions, date and time functions. Lot of things are there. Then later, as part of SQL, you will be able to learn all these things. Okay. So queries will be covered as part of this one, but this will get covered as part of T-SQL, Transact SQL. T stands for what? Transact SQL. So this is what is called advanced SQL. People will be calling this as a advanced SQL, Transact SQL, right? So somebody will be calling this as a PL/SQL. PL means procedural language SQL. So Oracle people will be calling as a PL/SQL. SQL Server guy is calling this as a T-SQL, but all people will be calling this as advanced SQL or simply, PL SQL or T-SQL, Transact. It is a Microsoft way of, telling this. So in this, we are going to be learning this, and you need to know compulsorily stored procedures. Not very complex, but at least if you know the basic stored procs, if you understand, that is a better thing. Then you have UDFs. UDFs means user defined functions. If you wanted to retrieve the data from the SQL means, these are the things that you have to know. If somebody gives you view, how do you get the data? If somebody gives you a table also. So table means we can easily get the data. But if the tables are not there, you should be able to get the data by writing a query or by writing a view or by writing a stored procedure or by writing a function. Clear, guys? So these are the things people would ask you. Do you know how to get the data from a view? Do you know how to get the data from a stored procedure? So all these things we are going to be using as part of our Power BI, right? So people may ask you, do you know how to, read the data from SQL Server or Oracle? If yes, if I give you a stored procedure, how do you get the data? If I give you a table, how do you get the data? So table and views, there is no problem. And let us concentrate on how to use queries, how to use, remaining stuff. So I'll quickly working with SQL Server objects. What are the objects I'm talking about? Table, views, stored procedures. All these are called SQL Server objects, right? SQL Server object means what? store procedures, views, user-defined functions, tables. All these are called SQL Server objects, which you can see in SQL Server, right? Now I go to Power BI. Let me close this. I wanted to connect. So if you wanted to connect, you can directly go here and connect, or you can go to transform data and connect. Wherever you would like to connect, connect. So SQL Server, click on this. Now server name is dot. Let me take database name as AdventureWorks. Let me go and rename and Control C and Control V. So if you wanted to get the data from the tables, we can simply use import. We can choose simply import. So click on OK. Now all the tables and V means views. Okay. So you can easily get the data from the tables and the views. Clear? So if you simply connect, so step number one, get the data from SQL Server. From SQL Server. So using what? Either you can have a table or you can have a view or you can have a function. It is only straight step that you can use it. Get the data from the SQL Server using either it can be a table or a view or a function. So this is the same thing you're going to be using now. See, V means view. So the other day we have created a view. This view you can take. All these are dimension tables. You can take it. All these are function. You should be able to take it. So the other day I was getting this function, and I have also created. The other day I have created a view dim product table and all the V means table. So you can create, whatever you wanted to have it, you should be able to load. Clear, guys? So you should be able to get the data from this without having any issues. Okay. Table data, you got it. View data, you got it. Function data, you got it. But what is missing? Table is done. Views are done. And a function does. So this is done. Views are done. And the functions also done. So what is still missing? So you should be able to have queries and stored procedures. So all these tables data, I got it. Now, what is missing? I have to write a query and get the data. Sometimes we write the query here. So for example, I go here and okay, I'll say I write some query. Select star from, let us say, dim customer table. Okay. So dim customer table, I don't need all the things. I go here. I'll take only few things. So what are the things I'm going to be having it here? Dim customer table. Where is that? Dim customer. So this is dim customer table. You have lot of columns here. I don't need all the columns. I need customer key. So comma. I wanted to have customer middle name. Okay. I wanted to have customer first name, middle name, last name, whatever you wanted to have it. And I wanted to have middle name also. Okay. Middle name, last name, customer birth date, I wanted to have it. So I'm creating some columns only. Customer gender, I wanted to have it like that. Customer phone number and commute distance. So house owner, lot of other things as total children, yearly income. If I wanted to have, what is the yearly income for the customer? Some amount. Yearly is getting some data. So I have a lot of columns, but I wanted to get customer key, first name, last name, blah, blah, blah. So this is the data I wanted to have it. So instead of a first name, middle name, last name, the customer is saying get the full name. So we can get the full name in the Power BI applying transformations. We can also write lot of functions here, right? So concat, I would like to use, first name, comma, middle name, comma, last name as full name. This is a function, so I can create and get the full name. Let me execute. I'm able to get the full name here, John V. Young. So I'm able to get the full name here. So this is the one I wanted to use it. Instead of applying transformations here, we can also write your own code. You need to know all these things. So I will be able to take this query and I should be able to load the data. So this is a query, right? So if somebody gives you a query, how to use it? Now I'm able to get all this data. So what is not there? Dim customer is not there. So dim customer data you are not getting from a table or a view or a function. You have to write a query. So how to do that? Go to get data, go to SQL Server, and server name is this, and database name. So what is the database name? Let me say rename this, Control C, copy this, and Control V. And when you see carefully, there is advanced options. So you need to expand. Why? Because I have to write a query here. If I wanted to write a query, there is no other option. If you click on OK, nothing is visible to you. So before that, you have to click on advanced options. Okay, let me click on this. Now SQL timeout and SQL statement. What is the statement I wanted to give? I wanted to give this query. So this query is bringing lot of data. Copy this and you go to Power BI and paste it. Okay, so which is going to be getting the data. Click on OK. Now you should be able to get this is the data. Adventure works blah 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 and load the data. All the data is being now loaded. Okay. All the data is now getting loaded. So now these many rows it is bringing from the query. I have totally 12,000 and all the data I got it. Now where is the table? It is still refreshing. Please wait. Now you're able to get the query. Let me go here and rename it. What is the rename? So you can say it is a dim customer table. It is a query actually. It is able to bring the data from the query. This is a dim customer table. Still, if you wanted to do any kind of a transformation to this data, always you can go for transform data tab. Always you can go for the data transformation tab. You can apply all of them, whatever be the things that you would like to apply. You should be able to modify, do this, do that, whatever you would like to do with that. So everything can be done. So dim customer is a query actually. We're able to get the data. Now, everything is properly there. So it is actually a query. So I have renamed it there. So I'm able to transform. If you still wanted to transform something, you can come back here. You should be able to apply a lot of ETL processes and you should be able to perform the proper transformations and come back here. Okay. So this is how you should be able to get the data from a query. Clear? If you wanted to write, for example, one more query. So one more query also I want to get it. So what are the queries we have? Dim customer, dim account, dim employee. So I wanted to use a dim geography also. Okay. So dim geography is not there. I would like to write a query. So Control C and Control V, remove all these things. What is the table? Dim geography. So you have lot of columns from the geography table, but I don't need all these columns. What all I need? I need this column. Where is geography? Dim geography is here. I don't need all the columns. I need geography key. So geography key, you need it. Let me remove the select and put it here. Okay, geography key, you need comma, you need city, perfectly fine. And I need state provisions code, state provision name. It is this. And I wanted to give Elias as a simply state, not state province code, something like this, simply state. So English country region name. It is a country name. Country region name is as country simply. And I have country country and I want to have the postal code. That's it. So these are the columns I want to have it. So this is one more query. I want to get city state. So let me have country first. Okay. Let me have the country first. Let me have the state later. So you can order if you wanted to order something like this. And let me have city here. So that it can be used in your one. So geographic key, you can say a geographic key or some key location key. This is a country, state, city, and the postal code. Let me take this and I wanted to get this. How to get this? Simply go to get data, go to again SQL Server. So every time you need to write multiple queries. And this time, what is the name? The name is Adventure Works rename, so that you can copy this and you can paste it here. Click on advanced. So you have to give the SQL statement. You can copy this. Control C and Control V. So click on OK. It is going to be getting, click on load. Click on load. It's going to be getting the data from query. So I am not getting a table directly, or I'm not getting a view directly. I am not getting directly from this. So step number one directly means this one. Either a table or a view function means directly you can get it. But step number two, what we are doing? We are getting queries. So each and every time you need to write only single query. So always you can get only one query. If you wanted to write always a single query, you can get it. Okay. If you wanted to write one more query, again you need to click on SQL Server, connect and get the data. Always single query. If you wanted to get the data from this, go and get the data. Now the data is query one. You now rename. Right click on this, rename. So this is a dim geography. Okay. Dim geography table. I'm able to get from the query. Okay. So geography table we got it. Now that is fine. So that's it. Nothing else. So now I'm able to get the data from here. So later I wanted to get one more data from where I would like to get one more data. Let us say from the stored procedure, right? So view table. So get the data from tables. Okay. Queries. And we can get the data from what? Stored views and get the data from stored procedures. Get the data from UDFs. Okay. So if you're getting the data, the meaning is that you should be able to call that. So tables, queries, views, stored procedures. So these are the things that you should know from where you should be able to get the data. So tables and tables and views is a single step. So within a single step, you will be able to find out all tables and all views, all user defined functions. Clear? So that is what. But what you cannot get it is queries and stored procedures. So this is what you need to work on more. So every time, if you want to get the data from, okay, either a query or a stored procedure, every time you need to connect and get the data. I had shown you now how to write a query and get the data. The query may have a joins, query may have ranking functions, query may have anything. So you can implement any logic here. You can join the data. You should be able to get lot of things. Okay, I did not join it. I have concatenated it. I have, I have removed lot of other columns. So whatever the things that you would like to use it, you should be able to do that and write a single query, always only one query, right? Now that is the one I have done it. Now we're able to get the data from queries. Now, how to get the data from a stored proc means you need to write the stored proc first. Okay. Let me take and implement a stored proc. Let me go and write this. This stored proc is getting the data from here. Okay. Dim geography stored proc I'm getting. So the stored proc means a query. So this is a query only, but I kept this inside this. When you execute this, you're able to get, country, state, city. So I think this is also giving you the same thing, right? So this is also giving you the same thing. When you go here, you should be able to get, let me click on go geography. So this data, you should be able to get it. Now, instead of this, I wanted to get the data. Customer, I have the account. So I have dim employee. So you should be able to get the from the sales table, right? Sales table data, that is what is called internet sales. So you can say USP sales table data. Okay. It is user stored procedure. USP means what? User stored procedure as begin. So I wanted to create a stored procedure for the sales table. What is the sales table I have here? Let me go here. When you open, you will be able to get one fact table, fact internet sales. Okay. This is actually a sales table. Now let me write select star from this table and execute it. You should be able to get the data from here. You can see whatever you want it. Okay. So I need a product key. So you can only get those names. Okay. Product key. Product key, you can get it. Product key and order date key. I don't need. I need due date key. I don't need. I need ship date key. If you wanted to have it, you can have it. Whatever. If you wanted to have it, you can have it. Order date key. Order date is not there. If you observe, if you understand data warehousing concept, so order date is not there, order date key is there, due date key is there. It is integer columns. Okay. So now you have ship date key, whatever you wanted to have it, we can have like this. And order quantity, I should be able to get it. Now, unit price, I don't need. If you want to have it, you can have unit price as well. And extended amount, unit discount amount. If you want to have what is the discount, total discount given, you can have discount amount and the product cost, total product cost, sales amount. Okay, sales amount. And I wanted to have total product cost also and the sales amount, and I can have tax amount. So all these things you can have it. Okay, freight amount. And right, so this is how you should be able to get whatever you wanted to have it now from this table. Okay, so this is the query I'm able to write inside this. Now you go try to execute it. This is able to get sales date. Okay, now this is a stored proc. I want to create this stored proc here. Okay. USP sales table. Now you go, I have created the stored proc. Now you should know why stored procs are important. How to create a stored proc, you have to know. If you wanted to study all of them, you have to, and see the advanced SQL called T-SQL. So that is the one you need to look into. Clear? So don't be in a hurry, worry. So slowly you complete SQL first, then jump into T-SQL. Am I clear? Now, I have created a stored proc. Where is stored proc available? I am using AdventureWorks. Go to tables. Tables are here. Views are here. You can see all the views of this one. All views are available here. Now you go to programmability. Stored procs are available here. So just now I have created a sales table. So this is the one says stored proc. User defined functions are available here. So I wanted to take sales table and use it. So how do I call this? Now this time, go to get data, go to SQL Server. I wanted to work with a stored procedure. So stored procedure is, dot, and the database name is Control C and Control V. This is optional. Click on advanced query. You have to write the SQL statement. How do you call a stored proc? So tomorrow, even though you remove this, so you close, let me call stored procedure now. How do you call stored procedure? You must use exec and stored proc name. So drag and drop stored proc name, but make sure you're pointing to the same database executed, which is able to give you this. So this is the command that you must use it. Copy this and go and paste it here. Okay, execute. So the stored proc name, right? So how do you get the stored proc? You have to go to database, expand programmability, then drag and drop exec and space stored proc name. Okay. Now it is able to execute the query which is in there inside the stored proc. Now this is the one I'm going to be using as part of here. Okay. So click on OK. Now this time I'm able to get the sales data with the help of a stored procedure. Now what is the data you have? So total data 60,000 rows you have. If you observe carefully, 60,398 rows are available. When you execute it, you will see 60,938 rows. Now the same data it is loading. Same data being loaded. You please wait. So you should know how to, work with view, how to work with the query. If somebody gives you data in a stored procedure, or somebody say you write a stored proc and get the data, or somebody will say you do this and get the, this is query one. You can simply rename, and this data is called as a fact sales table, like that. If you don't need some table, you should be able to also delete. If you don't need something, you should be able to delete from the model. You can have it. Clear? I have a dim account table. That is also I don't need. So I don't need the account table. Let me remove it. I have removed it. And I have a dim customer table. Then a dim date table I have. Dim department group I don't need. Let me delete it. If I don't need it, let me delete it. If you wanted to get it back, you can get it back. That is not a big issue at all. I have dim products. So dim products is getting so all the data. So that is what I need. I have created a view the other day. I have a product key, product name, product subcategory. Everything is available here. It is a, from view. I'm able to get this. You can rename. You can rename. You can simply say, dim products. Remove the view. Okay. Simply dim products. It is a function. I'm able to get function. So function is also getting some data. So this is a function getting the data. You can simply rename this. Nobody knows what is a function, what is this, what is that. Simply they think that it is also one more view. Get employee, already it is there. Let me delete this. So whatever you wanted to have it, you should be able to have it, and you should be able to create it. So I think I have all the tables now. Dim customer, then I have a dim product, then I have a dim date, then I have a fact sales, and I have a dim employee. If you work with employee table, do we have any column called salesperson so that I can include sales order number here? Any salesperson. So if you have many columns, if you wanted to look for, there is a column called salesperson. So you should be able to write a query. All these things I taught them. So I wanted to understand, is there any column called salesperson? So I have a lot of tables. How do I get it? Is there any search button? There is no search button. Is there any search button available here? Can I search? So right click on this. You have some data, or is there any search button? I can search something. You don't have anything, right? So, but how do I get? I wanted to know, there's a column called salesperson in this data. There is a employee, right? So we can write a query. Select star from sys dot columns. So this is a table. This table is containing all column names of all tables. Okay, all column names of all tables. This table is going to be containing. So this is what is called a ready-made system table. For example, I wanted to know goonlinetrainings.com company is there or not. I'm in Delhi. How do I know? Should I come to Hyderabad and check it out? It will be very problem. So what I go to? I go to government records. Somewhere goonlinetrainings.com would have registered. Okay. I go to that department. I look for, there's a company called Go Online Trainings, where it is available, whether it is registered or not. You can check it out there. Like that, when you create a table, that table columns will be available in this. So the column name is this. So what is the column name I wanted to have? Where name like, okay, or name equals to salesperson. So this is the one I wanted to have. Do we have any? It is not there. I'll write like operator, like salesperson. Yes, see, salesperson flag is there. This is available in this table, in this table. So if you wanted to know what is this table name, you have one more table called sys.tables. Okay, so when you go to sys.tables, it will have an object ID. Okay, so where object ID is equivalent to, it is giving me one object ID. What is object ID? This is the object ID. Copy and paste it. So somewhere this table is available. So dim employee table. So in this table, we have this column. So now if you go to this table, select star from the table name. So in this table, you will be able to get a sales flag or something. Okay. So what is the column? I'm searching for any salesperson. So there is a salesperson flag. Like that, if you wanted to know tomorrow, is there any column called sales amount? Where is that column available? You can say write sales. So try to execute it. So sales territory key, sales in a region, sales key, sales amount. Sales amount is available in this table. Copy this and you paste it here. You will come to know the table name, in which table you have this. So it is a fact internet sales. Directly you can go fact internet sales. You know that somewhere it will be available. Okay, so that is the easiest one. So people will say, I wanted to include a sales amount, but where is sales amount column available? I have a lot of tables here. So these are the queries that you have to write. So all these are the secrets of SQL Server or the Oracle. So a lot of things you have to learn like this, right? If it is Excel sheet, you can easily open, scroll down and scroll up. If you have thousands of tables like this and going to the table, looking for a single column is very, very difficult. What is like operator? Already, I think you had seen my SQL videos. You can understand. right? So sometimes the manager comes and say, "Hey Bhaskar, there is a tax column, but I don't know the proper this one. Look for a column called tax column. Can you let me know what is the table name? In which table this column is available?" So it can give you. It is available in these two tables, not only one table. Let me take one table, copy and paste. The actual column name is tax amount. It is available in this table. What is the table? Fact internet sales. Okay, so that is available. And one more place, this. One more place is this place. Fact reseller sales. Okay, so all this you can easily understand and get the things done. So in how many tables this column is available in? This column is available in two tables. Clear? So all these things you should be able to get it and keep using, keep understanding something like that. Okay, so I don't have a salesperson ID. So I have only salesperson flag. So flag I cannot do it. So salesperson flag is there. So I don't want to have dim employees, but this is not needed. Is there any employee ID? Even employee ID is not there. Let me say EMP. Where all EMP ID, EMP name will be there, it will show you. It is employee key we have. Where in this, in this, in this, in this. Okay. So what you can do, you can write a subquery. You can remove this. You can put, I need the object ID only. Object ID means the table ID. Okay. Table ID, you can send it to this guy like this. In operator and open the bracket. All these things you should be able to write like this. Okay. Now, instead of writing these many queries, you should be able to get the table names like this. Okay. So table names is this. In dim employee table, we have employee, factory seller, and this one we have this. Okay. So lot of things you can understand in which tables then a column names are getting repeated means this. Okay. What are the column names if you wanted to get it? So simply take this and get it. You put the star here. You put the star. So column names also, what are the column names? Employee key, employee key, employee key. You should be able to identify. Okay. Like that, you should be, it is duplicate. Same thing is duplicated. So same things are getting duplicated many times, right? I think I don't need this one also. Let me remove this. So whatever you need it, you have to only keep that in your data set. Clear? I have a dim date, dim geography, dim products, dim customer, and a fact sales. So after that, I have to do the modeling. So what is the modeling I need to do it here? So I go here. I should be able to create all the proper relationships. Okay. So some of them are properly. So dim date is not having any relationship, and these tables are not having proper relationships. And the people who know DAGs, the people who know the modeling and everything, they should be able to. Let me adjust this. So I have to properly create the relationships. Okay. So dim customer table I have. Did I take customer key here? Did I include customer key? If the customer key is not there, how do I join this table? Product key is there. So let me go and look for all these things. So customer table from where I'm getting. So it is fine. Go to programmability. Let me drag and drop this and call the stored proc. So how do you call the stored proc like this? Do we have a customer key in this? Product key we have. Customer key, I missed it. If I miss the customer key, I will not be able to do this. I have to modify this. So how to modify this? Right click on this. Say modify the stored procedure. I need to include customer key. Go to the table fact internet sales. And inside I have a customer key that is not there. Product key is there. Customer key also I wanted to have it. Okay. So I have to alter it. Okay. Once you do that, simply click on execute button. Now close this. I have added one column. Now you should be able to get the product key and customer key, order date key, blah, 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 order quantity, blah, blah, blah. Have it. Now I should be able to simply refresh. The new column which has been created as part of fact sales table has to come here. If you're not able to get it, delete this table and recreate once again. Okay. Okay. Now it is got added dim customer table. This table is also automatically linked. Dim products is linked. And geography key, did I add it here? If I don't add it here, I will not be able to get it. So it is also not there. So there is a due date. Product key, order key, ship date key, currency key, sales territory key is there. Sales territory key is nothing but a geography. So which territory the sales is happened. Clear? So this is the one I have to add. So to add this, again I have to go to the stored procedure. Where is the stored proc? Stored proc is under you need to collapse the tables, go to programmability and go here, right click on this modify. When you modify, it is going to be altering the stored procedure. Altering. So what is the column I would like to add? Sales territory. Where is that? Go to tables now. Go to fact internet sales. Sales territory is going to be linking to the geography key. If you're not sure about it, you need to check with your manager. Okay, you need to check with the manager. You will understand the data. So if you don't understand whether it is sales territory key itself is a geography key, if you're not sure about it, simply you go to this table. Okay, and see the data in this geography key. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. The numbers are starting with 1, 2, 3. So this kind of a data you have, right? So look at the data once. You will understand. So this might be that one only. So you go to the sales table. So I have included this one, right? Let me alter this, execute it. Let me close this, don't save it. Now look for there's a number. See 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Have you seen these numbers? So these numbers are changing. Sometimes you don't have the same column names, okay? But how do you verify? Look at the data. So I am simply look the data. So here geography key is that is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the same thing is getting repeated as a sales territory key. So sometimes people would ask you this question. So how do you identify this column is that column only, but the column names are different. If the column names are different, so sales territory. Territory means it is a linked to geography, right? So think like that. And go and look for the data. If the the data is matching, then you can say that this can be linked to this table, this column. If still not sure, you can ask the customer. Customer will say, same, both of them are geography key and sales territory key, both of them are same. You can link this to this. So all these things you have to ask your manager only. So even though you know Power BI, nothing you can do. Even though you know Power BI, nothing you can do. All these things, business related data and questions, you have to ask what to link, when to link. So I have linked it. Now after that, I have to create a good model. I told you, right? If you wanted to create a visualizations, first thing you have to create a data set. As part of Power BI service, I was talking about that. So to create a data set is not so easy. To create a data set may take 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, because you have to clean the data. You have to do a lot of other things. Creating a data set is not a 2 minutes job. So that is not the thing. So you have to create a data set. Data set means you're getting the data from Excel sheet. You're getting the data from SQL Server, right? You're getting the data from tables and lot of things you're going to be writing. Tables, you may be writing the data by writing queries. You may be getting the data from stored procs, from UDFs, right? You're also getting the data from the text files, CSV files, XML files, blah, blah, blah. So all the data you need to bring it. After that, what you do? You have to apply lot of transformations, right? After applying lot of transformations, what you do? You do the data modeling. Data modeling means, one to one, one to many. Then you need to create a DAX, right? So creating a data set is going to be having many steps, right? So the first step number one is called Power Query steps you will have, plus Power Pivot. Power Pivot means I'm talking about what? Data modeling plus DAX. Okay. So the creating a data set is not so easy, because you have to clean the data, you have to combine the data, merge the data, changing lot of things. So the cleaned data is going to be loaded. So this may take 6 months time to create a data set itself. So later, creating a visualization, anybody can do that. Creating a visualization, anybody can do that. So what is going to be taking a lot of time means creating a data set only. So how much of time we are discussing? I need that column, I need this column is not here, this table is not there, this stored proc is not there. Lot of things I'm discussing. I'm talking about 4 to 5 tables here, but in the real time, if you have 100 plus tables, you'll go mad, right? Creating a data set is not so easy task. Creating a data set will be very, very difficult task. Clear? You need to understand what columns you need to. Before creating a data set, you should also know what kind of a reports the company wanted to create. So existing reports you need to read. Okay. So to create a Power BI data set. So what is that you should know? What is that you should know? You have to study existing reports. What are the reports they have, that you need to study well, and you need to study existing. You need to study existing OLTP systems and sources. All the OLTP sources systems you need to study, and you need to also study what kind of a future report requirements. Future report requirements. Okay, so what kind of a future report requirements? What are the future KPIs they wanted to create? Right? What are the dashboards that they wanted to trying to achieve from your data model, right? So what kind of reports, what kind of a dashboards, what kind of a KPIs, what kind of a summaries they would like to see, all of them, you should know whenever you want to create a data set. Because once you create a data set, say you say that I did not include a text column, that means what? Sir, I forgot to include a text column means. So again, you have to come back and add the text column. it will be irritating job. Clear? I did not know that we need to add a tax column. I did not know that we need to add this column, because you cannot include all the data. If you include all the columns, you don't have enough space in the Power Pivot model. So that is also very, very important. So don't unnecessarily take all the columns. For example, I did not include this column, or I did not include this column. If you include, if you have, one column, 60,000 rows are there. So you have unnecessarily wasting your time. So don't take all the columns, take only necessary columns, and understand this column, are you going to be using any future requirements? So what kind of a future reports you would like to have it? So they will give you a couple of challenges and couple of reports. Based on that, you create your data set. Clear? After creating a data set, what you do? So after creating a data set, what you do? You're going to be sharing or deploying the data set. Deploy data set. Okay. Now we have, so how many people are going to be having the access? Now these are the guys are having the access. Who are the guys who are having the access? Now PBI 1, PBI 2, PBI 3, lot of people are having access. Let me remove this. Okay. Now this guy, Akhil Ram and James Cameron. So this guy and this guy are able to create a data set of one, and is also creating one more data set called two. Okay. Now these people are good and they are able to create a data sets only. So when they create a data set, the data set need to be deployed, and the permission need to be given to Power BI 3, 4, and 5. Then only you people can log in as a Power BI 3 and create a visualizations or dashboards or the reports. Clear? So I'm creating a data set now. So let me create a data set called sales data set, right? So I create a Amazon sales data set, or I can say Flipkart. Okay. Sales data sets. Let me give new name. Sales data set I create. Now I create this. After that, all other people, including, this guy. So all these guys are going to be simply creating a visualizations. Clear? But creating a data set is not so easy, and creating a data set may take 5 months or 6 months of time. Clear? So you can create hundreds of reports on this. These people only simply creating reports. On top of that, they created dashboards. Okay. So first you have to create a data set. Data set where you are going to be consuming a lot of things. So this guy, Akhil Ram, should know DAX very well. Okay. So people who are creating dashboards and everything, they need not know DAX very well. But this guy has to give the permission onto this data set, so that these guys can go and work on this. Clear? So that is the point. So I have created the proper data set now. Now everything is model. So this I have to include now. So sales territory key. So I have to take the geography key and sales territory key. I have to include it. Got included. Dim date also need to be included. So I have a date key, and I have a date key and a date key. Due date key and date key. And I have order date key and a date key. Okay. And I have ship date key and date key. Okay. Like that, I have to create the relationships. Now everything is properly done. Okay. If you want to create any kind of a what do you say? If you want to create any kind of a DAX queries, we should be able to create. Relationships are perfectly fine. This is perfectly fine. Now I wanted to deploy. Before deploying, if I wanted to deploy, I have to save this file first. Save this. Now I'll say Flipkart. Okay. Flipkart sales data set. So I wanted to go to D drive. Locally, I wanted to store this first. I'm talking about deployment. Now I'm talking about Flipkart sales data set. It is a PBIX file. Okay. There are two types of files. One is IT, then IX. IX means it is going to be having data plus visualizations. I don't have any visualizations, so data will get stored. Okay. So the PBIT means it's purely visual, you will have visualizations, no data. So I wanted to go in for this because it will have data. Now I have to create, I have created no visualizations. I have created, remember this, no visualizations, but who's James Cameron? So who James Cameron? James Cameron is this guy. So James Cameron should not, be doing this. Akhil Ram. So this guy has to, create this. Now I wanted to log out, go here, sign out first. So sign out, data set is created beautifully, data modeling is done. You assume that DAX queries also created. Who is good in DAX queries and modeling and everything? Akhil Ram. So he's the guy, he has done 5 months of time, he has spent it. Not only Akhil Ram, maybe one more guy, but at the time of deploying, this guy is going to be deploying. Okay, so I would like to log in with the help of this user ID. So let me go in. Now again sign in. So copy and paste this. Continue. What is the password? Password is what? India at the rate 12, right? So this is the password we were using. So use this PBA user 1. Now India at the rate 12. Okay. So all these things will disappear within a 1 month time, guys. You have to practice before 1 month. Otherwise, nothing will work. Okay. Nothing will work. Make sure you complete. Today is, September 30, 2021. You finish this, everything by next month end so that it will be there. So we are going to be deleting all of them. So remember to practice within a month's time. So sign in. So now once Akhil Ram is connected, Akhil Ram is this guy. Akhil Ram is which guy? Akhil Ram is this guy. He is able to create a data set. Now he is able to create. How much time is spent? 5 months of time is spent, which Flipkart.com, and is able to understand lot of things and created a beautiful data set. To create a beautiful data set, Akhil Ram has to know the complete existing reports, existing OLTP systems. He has to know a lot of other things and future report requirements, what kind of reports they may create on the data set, and what kind of a DAX queries they may ask. Everything he has to know, right? Before, prior not understanding this, it is very, very difficult. Simply don't take any data and simply don't create any kind of a data set. I need to understand, how my data set is going to be used later. So what kind of a visualization they wanted to have it, what kind of a report, future report requirements they wanted to have it. So all of them you need to know today so that you can create a proper data set. Clear? Otherwise, you will not be able to create. So creating a data set is not a one-day job. It may be 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months job sometimes. Clear? It's not so easy. Creating a visualizations are very, very, easy. Now I have to deploy. So created, Akhil Ram is going to be publishing. So when I want to publish, I have to create a new workspace. What is a workspace? Flipkart. So I have to go to app.powerbay.com, app.powerbay.com, and I wanted to log in as a user one, give the password India at the rate 12. All of them are small letters, and you can save this. Now I have to go to workspaces. Now create a workspace. Create a workspace called what? Flipkart. Flipkart workspace I want to create and click on save. Right? So I've created the workspace and you go back. Now I wanted to click on publish button. Now there is a Flipkart workspace and click on select. Publishing the data set now. Publishing the data set. This data set, so use the tables, the views, the queries, this one, that one, success. Got it. Now, once it is ready, this guy job is done, we can close this. Okay. So save this and close this. He has created the data set. Now other people have to get the permission to work on this, right? Otherwise, they will not be able to get it. Who are the other people? PBA user 2, PBA user 3. These people can create a reports. So I have only published, it is available to me, not to other users, right? So I have to go and the data set is created. Now I have to give the permission. So if you go to Flipkart, if you go to workspaces, you will be able to get Flipkart here. So I have to give the permission to this workspace. Click on dot 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 workspace access. Who can get this workspace? What does workspace will contain? All the data sets and reports and everything, right? So this can be accessible by default Akhil Ram. And who's the other guy who has to access now? So this guy has to access. Control C, Control V. So what he can do? He can do a member or a contributor or a viewer or he is also admin. So whatever you would like to have it. So we'll discuss about all these different permissions we have to provide. Let me give is also one more admin. He can access this and create it. So you have this guy. Okay. Now let me take this guy also has to access that. Control C and go to this one and is also admin or a member, whatever you would like to address or invalid duplicate. Why? Somebody is created already or duplicated. Let me give this. Control C and control, invalid or duplicate. PBA user 4. Somebody has did not create it properly, guys. Huh? Creating multiple times. Somebody is created many times or something is happened there. Control C and let me give permission to this guy. Control. Okay, you people did not create it properly. Chalo, no problem. So let me use this. Even Bhaskar Jogi can access this. Okay. So you did Bhaskar Jogi can access this. Click on add. Now you should be able to get and close. So Power BI to Bhaskar Jogi and even this guy John Kennedy also can create a report. Now you just go up and you should be able to add. You can add these roles, add member, admin, contributor, whatever you would like to have it. We'll discuss about all these things. Who can use what? Add. Clear? So this is the access. How to give the access? Let me go to workspaces. You can get the Flipkart. Click on dot 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 workspace access. Now you have to supply the name and choose and click on add. Now you can see easily all these people can access. If you access John Kennedy, Bhaskar, James Cameron, Emerald Cameron, so you can easily access and work on this. Clear? So what kind of a permission you have it? The member, contributed, viewer, remover. So if you want to remove, you can remove. So this is how we should be able to have it. So data set is this data set. So data set is going to be having all these things. Okay. Now, if you wanted to create a report, you should be able to go and create a report. And the report is going to come. I don't have any report. Okay. So content means data set plus visualization. I don't have any visualization, right? I don't have any visualization. Content means what? Content means it is a data set. Plus your reports, whatever the reports that you have created, that is what is called your content, right? So I don't have any visualization. It is going to show you that. So it is only data set, nothing else. You don't have any visualization. When you click, it is actually a visualization report. You don't have anything actually here. It is a blank one. If you go here, you did not create anything. It is able to give you a blank one that you can delete. That you can delete. So if you go here, it is a blank one. So you can remove this. Nothing. We did not create anything, right? It's only data set we have created. It is a blank one. You can only keep this. You can create lot of reports and deploy. So who's going to be deploying? Who's going to be creating a reports? Reports are can be created by other people. Okay. So these two guys can create. So Akhil is creating data set and one more guy. So only these guys. So these guys are not able to do it. I don't know. Something has happened. So these are the three guys can create the reports from tomorrow. Okay. He's the guy who created the data set. These are the guys who's going to be creating the data set. I given the permission. Clear, guys? So this is how you can work with the SQL Server, and who are the people who can create data set and who are the guys who can create reports. So that distribution has to happen as part of Power BI. From tomorrow, we're going to be getting the data and creating a lot of reports, and we'll see some more concepts. Clear? So today we had seen a how to get the data from different SQL Server objects, and how to use stored procedures, how to use queries, views, blah blah blah. Clear? So everything we had discussed. If you have anything else, you can ask me now.